The salmon never got up the river because there's no pack ice, 1,000-year-old pack ice left in the British Columbia Mountains because the tritium destroyed that. Doesn't allow the ice to crystallize, as long with all the other radiation. It's not just the tritium. Just happen to be the flavor of the day that we're using. And tritium is water. But it's pure energy. These atoms, they pulse every second. Every second. Hang on. Think about this inside your body. Big, there, that pulse. That big pulse. Every second, 60 seconds a minute, 1,440 minutes a day. But you're gathering it up, you're drinking it and consuming it and eating it. That's what happened to the animals. They were bioaccumulating it. You know, they're foraging all the time at the surface, on the ground. That's why the animals and the birds were impacted. Because not many of them are dig deep into the ground. They're surface eaters, basically, right? And then if they're predatory, then they're eating the animals that are bioaccumulating it. And it doesn't mean that they all died of cancer. It means there's 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies will show up before that. And that they become susceptible now to parasites and to pathogens and the viruses and the diseases. And they even create that because their body now is so polluted, it's displacing all the oxygen molecules, and the pH is completely changed in those bodies. I still got that other stream going because I started off. I intended to come over and say hi to everybody, but that's the way I go sometimes. Going live is, when you're live streaming, just doing what I'm doing is so difficult, whether people realize it or not. It's so tricky to do the little things I do. Every little thing I do becomes just a neat trick to get done. Let me explain something to you, though. Let me explain to you that is what they claim was the inside of Unit 4. This is the inside of Unit 4 on the ground. See how these buildings don't touch each other? They're not meant to touch each other. They never touched each other. But yet, I see an activist post, Melissa Melton, claiming in her last article that this building was built to support it. That it's there to give it integrity. And I got no idea why she can't tell the difference and why she doesn't know it, outside of the fact she probably didn't look very far. But it's very damaging to have people out there in the alternative media writing articles saying that supports it. Because just that little causes fighting among people. And that if you don't know the difference, you shouldn't say it. But yet that's the claim. But these buildings don't touch each other. This pool does not exist inside of that building. It does not exist inside of that pool. These are official pictures. Look at the roof, look at the walls, look at the ceilings. Now you tell me, how does it fit into that picture there? And you see the big red truck, right? Why would you need that if it looked like that? You know what I'm saying, right? If it looks like that, and it does, these are the official pictures, and that's the official picture too. On the other side of it looks like that, but does that mean that is inside of it? No. And they built a structure there to deceive everybody. Then they rolled out and said it looked like that on the inside. That it was like this. And then they claimed it was all gone. Yeah, it's all gone there, right? We know where it's gone. Gone to North America, because that's what all the models shows. They looked at 4 spots along the coastline of British Columbia. So far, urchin die-offs at 4 sites along 200 miles and a 5th site off California. And so they declared an extinction event. An extinction event. This is a map of Canada. And this is a map that I covered, that I created. This is all the coastline of Canada, from one arrow to the other arrow. That's what we covered for 260 days in that operation. And instead of being a gorgeous, unimaginable, unbelievable, healthy environment where every millimeter is jostling for life and the 4 million other species are kept at bay, it's naked, and the other 4 million species didn't even try to recede the coastline. The other 4 million species didn't recede that coastline. Think about this tsunami map. This is where people died along the coastline of British Columbia. Of Japan. From the tsunami. They died from the tsunami. Now look at that map. Think about that. Now, you see the numbers. There's thousands of people and hundreds and people. Right along that 400-kilometer stretch, that's where people died from tsunami debris. From tsunami debris. From that wood chipper. This is where the nuclear power plants are. Yeah? Does it make more sense for you now? That's where the nuclear power plants are on that coastline. Okay, so we covered 15,000 miles in that boat. There's a map of it. And I'm going to show you something else that you've already seen many times, I'm sure. But that's tsunami debris. That's so important. It is unbelievable, unimaginable how important it is to consider that when you talk about the power plants, and then when you talk about the debris along the coastline that killed all those people, it killed them because it looked like that. See? And that's why the nuclear power plant looks like that, and that's why they come out and tell you it looked like that. Because they know. They know it's an extinction event. Remember, Chernobyl, read that third line from the top. For the next 10 days, 400 Hiroshima bombs over 150,000 square miles of Europe and beyond. Europe and beyond. And so what that means is that right now you can't sell the land in parts of Ireland, Scotland, and UK. That you can't drink the milk in parts of Ireland, Scotland, UK. That you still, 28 years later because of Chernobyl, can't drink the milk or eat the meat from Scotland, Ireland, and UK. Because of Chernobyl. And Chernobyl was just a candlestick. We proved this endlessly. But, think about Kofi Annan said 3 million children have permanent disabilities from Chernobyl. 3 million. I covered that into the preamble. And so the preamble up at YouTube that I posted was in super high quality. Like a 40-second, hey, this particular live stream is coming. But you can't stream that kind of quality on the internet. But it's exceptionally high quality. And I put that headline there. I probably can't find it right now that I was just talking about. So here's another couple of headlines I want you to think about. Rain with 20 million particles. 20 million particles of radioactive iodine per liter fell on the U.S. during post-Fukushima. Post-Fukushima. 20 million. 20 million. 20 million of iodine 131. Let me snap that up there again for you. 20 million iodine 131. So there's 30 times, 10 times more iodine 132, 30 times more iodine 133, 31 times more iodine 129. Yeah, I can probably bring up some of that for you and make it a little easier for you to understand it. Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, I created that big folder, didn't I? Let's look at the forecast. Here's an Australian forecast, March the 15th, 2011. East of Los Angeles by March the 18th. This forecast was by the Norwegian Institute for Research. Latest forecast had all of California on a radiation threat. And it looked like that. And I can bring up that one for you and play it very quick if you want. You want to hang on, give me a second. Anytime you're ready, Dana. Oh, here we go. And so once it hits, that's the end of it. Game over. Once it hit the coastline, once it went over your country, once it deposited This was a snowstorm that never disappears, but you can't see it. You can't breathe it or smell it or taste it or feel it or pick it up or throw rocks at it. But it's there, see? And it's permanently there till the end of time. It's recirculating like the forest fires. Like the forest fires, we know comes across the ocean, right? We know these are thousands of times bigger than what I'm talking about, what I'm showing you. And we know how that comes over and it lingers around North America for extended periods of time. Hey, buddy. It lingers around North America for extended periods of time. And let me just come back over to that. Hi, Roger. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. That's Roger. He's my buddy. And so think about the modeling from NOAA. This model is from NOAA. And that model is based upon 40 days. It's only based upon a couple of days releases from a single reactor. Couple of days releases from a single reactor, and is not based upon all the elements. It's only based upon iodine-131 and cesium-137. And so, like I showed you earlier in the broadcast, is that we have let's just say three, but we covered this many times, but not counting the fuel pools, which are reactors. And each of the reactors hold 5 million pounds.